Good morning, everybody. Back to talk about the Big Brother 27 house. And woo, did I piss off some Keanu stands yesterday? I think I finally did. Wouldn't have it any other way. Don't know how anyone could stand Keanu at this point anyway. Maybe earlier in the season he had some entertaining times in this game. But now it's just been overkill with Keanu for me. I guess some people didn't like Keanu being called a narcissist who talks down to women. I mean, I'm not the one that said that at first. It was Rachel and Ashley. Though I do agree. But honestly, whether he's a narcissist or not, I actually think worse things about Keanu. Because he just really does not like women. He has showed all season long how hard he will go for men. How much he will listen to men, and how not once in this entire game he has listened to women, even when they gave him good info and tried to help him out. Furthermore, he is a Cuban with some weird thing against the black players back when he chose every single one of them in the knockout competition, and how he's thought the black women have been aggressive this season. And at some point, when he himself started every single beef with the women in this house, he still tried to act innocent, like he's not doing that. So while some people might fall for his innocent act when it comes to, oh, I gotta fight back against the women, he usually starts it. He's a sassy man, and that's fine and dandy. He has some good comebacks, but he's also not as innocent as he tried to play it off yesterday after he got called out by Rachel and Ashley. And frankly, I don't even know how Keanu stands understand his game at this point. I feel like you all have to twist your brains into pretzels to try and understand Keanu's game. I don't know how anyone could understand his game, period. Not just because he is dumb and delusional, but because he has had Vince's dick in his mouth the entire game. Like, how do you even understand him when he's speaking? Anywho, with each increasing day as this week goes by, I am becoming worried about Ashley this week. As it stands, she still should be the safest of the three people on the block, but Ashley and Rachel talk too damn much. Ashley told both Mickey and Vince yesterday that she probably has the votes over them. And I just don't think that was very smart, because that could make Mickey want to vote her out over Vince. If Mickey really does feel at the bottom of the house, I don't think Ashley needed to tell Mickey that to her face. We all know Ashley. It's why I love Ashley, though. She keeps it real and she tells things to people's faces. But that was probably not the smartest thing to tell Mickey. Luckily for Ashley, Mickey is so delusional, similar to Keanu, and doesn't think she's at the very bottom. So I think she will be fine with that. But saying stuff like that when you're on the block, you probably shouldn't be doing that. I don't think it is smart. And Ashley's a very smart player, one of the only in the house, but that wasn't exactly smart, in my opinion. I do think what will help Ashley, though, with Mickey anyway, is that Keanu told the nominees at the veto meeting that he doesn't care who goes home, and he said in front of everyone that they, meaning Mickey, Rachel, and Ashley, tried to pitch Ava to him this week. That was once again Keanu trying to get Ava to vote out Ashley. But I think that might make Mickey want Vince out too. So I still think Ashley is fine if it comes down to either her and Mickey or her and Vince. Because the horrid duo of Keanu and Vince, who never help each other out, has been a bad look for Vince on the block this week. I think it's still so weird to me. And this is why I say Keanu stans have to be twisting their brains into pretzels to figure this out. That Keanu, I get that he put up Vince to send a lesson. But that was a very stupid thing to do, because if you're going to spend the rest of your HOH trying to save Vince's ass, because that's the only person's approval you wanted all season, it's could do more harm to Vince than anything. That's what's happened with Keanu all season. Anything he's wanted, the opposite usually happens. So it's not looking great for Vince, even though he should be fighting against Mickey as it stands right now. I also think Rachel is doing too much this week. I feel like Rachel has been making things worse for Ashley this week rather than better for, Ashley being her main ally right now. I wish Rachel would calm down. As I said yesterday, she could be quite the sloppy player, and she's been quite sloppy this week to me. But some things never change, and that's one thing. Ava seemed very upset with Rachel yesterday. I think she was upset because Rachel was going so hard to save ally Ashley, and I think Ava doesn't think Rachel goes that hard for her, even though they're supposed to be allies too. But also, Ava doesn't talk enough game with Rachel, or enough game, period. She didn't even let Rachel know yesterday that Keanu was considering renominating Rachel right before the veto ceremony yesterday. So that is why Ava continues to frustrate me, because she does have a good social game to an extent, but she gets mad at people for playing the game, and that pisses me off. Like, she will sit there and be annoyed that some players in the house are playing hard, and it's like, well, this is a game. People are there to actually play. I'm sorry, you're not. You're here to take naps a lot, but like, that's what makes me wonder sometimes why Ava was cast, but you could say that about a lot of this damn cast. However, I did see some good out of Ava last night. I have to believe her talks with Lauren is Ava gaming, because she did exactly what she and Ashley talked about doing where Lauren is concerned. Ava tried to convince Lauren to vote against Vince if it's Vince and Ashley. Now, I don't think that will work because Lauren's only real ally left is Vince, which is Lauren's fault. I've been saying all week that Lauren's game sucks because of Lauren. She never ventured out to try and have other allies. So she got stuck with Kat and Vince. That's what she wanted. I guess that's what she felt comfortable with. But for the rest of your game, like, it's your fault. And that's what pisses me off when Lauren and Cali are talking about Ashley being carried as if Lauren hasn't been carried in the game by Vince, or that Lauren's entire game hasn't revolved around Vince. So it does piss me off when they say Ashley's being carried, and this whole concept between those two, Vince and Keanu, that Ashley doesn't even play the game, actually tells me how good of a background game Ashley is playing. That she hasn't been put up on the block these past several weeks, even though she's been an option. She has people in front of her, has shields. That's been her game, is to try and see her ally, try and make her allies see the right decisions, the clear decisions down the line, but also keep people in the game in front of her to be her shield. That didn't work out for her this week. She finally got put up on the block, but she's been doing a great job otherwise. So Cali, who doesn't play at all, and Lauren, who has no social game, don't really want to hear them talking about someone being carried. Anyway, Ava sliced up Vince's game to Lauren last night, at one point telling her, quote, Vince will do anything to stay in this game and backstab anybody. It's true, and Lauren knows that, and Lauren still won't try and change anything up. The only thing Lauren has tried to change up is have this trio of Lauren, Cali, and Ava, but Lauren doesn't actually treat that like a real alliance, in my opinion, because her main ally is still Vince, and her and Vince plot to just try and make Ava be a number for Vince instead of, for Lauren. I just don't respect Lauren's game at all, even though I would be okay with her winning over some of these losers. Anyway, Ava also said in that conversation with Lauren, what has Vinny done? I'm being so serious. That has really proven his allegiance to Keanu, Cali, you. Once again, dropping facts. What has Vince done to prove his allegiance to Keanu, Cali, or Lauren? Not a whole lot. And she also said, how can I vote out the girl that had my back last week in that eviction and keep the guy who put me on the block? Talking about Ashley and Vince. So yeah, Lauren's conversation with Ava went bad for Lauren. Went great for Ava. Lauren, of course, ran most of that conversation back to Vince because that's her only ally left. And now Vince is trying to think of how to get Ava's vote. I could think of one way that might help Vince get Ava's vote, and that's actually talk to Ava about the vote. As I said yesterday, Vince is not active enough for someone on the block to save himself. He wants other people to do the work for him because that's what he's used to in life, and that's what he's gotten used to in this game. He's yet to have an active campaign for himself, and he wants Lauren and Morgan to do all of the work. But that's going to have the opposite effect on Ava because Ava doesn't respect that, and Ashley has been talking to her all week. So I think Vince is going to have a hard time getting Ava's vote. He's going to try and weasel his way at some point, I would assume. I mean, Vince has to have a conversation with Ava at some point, I assume. If he truly thinks Morgan and Lauren are going to do all the work to get it for him, he's sadly mistaken, and he's going to go home against Ashley. Morgan is in save Vince mode. It's crazy how so many of these players have a save Vince mode. I'm tired of it, but it also gets tired just watching Morgan in general. It's tiring watching her game so hard and go over so many different scenarios. At one point yesterday, she was coming up with a plan to even try and vote out Ashley over Mickey, which even Keanu shut down because Ashley and Keanu managed to have a good conversation after Keanu apologized to Ashley. And Keanu doesn't want Rachel mad at him if Ashley goes this week. So I think that was just Morgan overthinking again. Morgan is quite the loyal player. I've always given her credit for that. But she seems to only be loyal to a guy in this game, and that gets old to me. She will try to get Ashley out this week over Vince if it comes down to them. But man, this just does not make her look less pathetic. And that's been, a problem I've had with Morgan this season, even though I sometimes like her. I like her loyalty. Sometimes I wish she wasn't just loyal to Min, though. Now, when it comes to the hugs, I feel like Vince is always the one going in for deeper, longer hugs. I don't know if it's because he uses it as gameplay. I don't know if it's because he actually finds comfort in Morgan. I don't know if it's because he actually developed feelings for Morgan. But either way, his girlfriend will let him get away with it because I think everyone in his life lets him get away with his victim act, just like most of the house seems to do. He's really good at that victim act, apparently. It works wonders. A few more things before I end this. Cali has started speaking more again, and that's not a good thing. I talked about it yesterday, how she's been being quiet when she finally realized the feeds are 24/7. How she realized that after 2 months, I don't know. But now that she's talking again, it's mostly just hate for Rachel. And if it was on a game level, that's what it should be. People should want Rachel out of this game. It's crazy that they let her get to jury without ever nominating her. But Callie's hate for Rachel is weird, and it seems so personal, and it started week 1 out of nowhere. And Rachel tried to work with Callie early on in the game. It didn't matter because Callie's only game move all season long has been report back to Vince. But now she's saying things like she hates Rachel and that it's overwhelming hate. That's strange as hell to me. Callie is a strange person and such bad casting, and she doesn't even play the game, and I'm sick of it. Anyway, to sum up the past last night and this morning, it stands right now. There's still 2.5 more days until the vote, and Ashley should still be the safest of the 3. I think Mickey likely goes home against Vince as it stands. Will and Ashley want to keep Mickey in that scenario, but I don't know if they could get the numbers. They see Mickey as a number for them and a shield for them. They might be able to get Rachel on board with that, but they would need Ava, and I don't think they're going to get Ava as it stands. And also, Ashley shouldn't be campaigning for Mickey this week when Ashley's on the block too. And God knows Will won't campaign. So Mickey's going to have to save herself by winning the blockbuster. And it would be great if Mickey wins blockbuster, Vince gets voted out on Keanu's HOH and gets voted out next to Ashley. That would be great. I would love that. If Mickey goes, I mean, it is what it is. She did it to herself. I'd rather her not go yet. I want Vince out. If Ashley goes, you all know that watch my videos, I will be devastated, especially on a Keanu HOH. Ugh, I might have to start the video by puking at that point. So trigger warning for that if that ever happens. Anyway, maybe I'll be back tonight. If not, I will be back tomorrow morning.